Hello my beautiful minions, welcome to another video. Today I asked you on Twitter, literally 2 hours ago, I said, what pisses you off about the WWE? I posted this on X, make sure you go follow me there because I tend to post discussion series on there that end up being a video, and here we are. Just like this one, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that like and subscribe button to get notified on my next video. Let's get to the tweets. The first one here is by Chiseled Adonis saying, Gimmick PLEs, enough of the Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber, War Games. These matches should have happened because a feud requires it. When you force it, it doesn't hit the same. They got rid of Hell in a Cell and TLC for the right reasons. I love when you have those matches when it makes sense. Put Money in the Bank at WrestleMania like it should have been. Obviously, Royal Rumble is an outlier. I agree with Royal Rumble because you're not going to mix in Royal Rumble with WrestleMania or with any other PLE. Royal Rumble stands on its damn own. We're not necessarily focused too much on the feuds that are happening on the PLE up until they are announced, because there are a couple of feuds and rivalries that we definitely do want to see on that card, but the main point of the Royal Rumble is the men's and women's Royal Rumble. So I can agree with you to an extent. I do think that the Money in the Bank matches should be at WrestleMania. Obviously, I think if you're gonna have Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, you need to have a successful cash-in, because if it's not a successful cash-in, they might as well just have its own PLE at that point, because we can wait it out. We can wait until WrestleMania happens to see a cash-in, but if you're going to execute it at WrestleMania, you actually need to have that cash and have the results that we're all anticipating. I do disagree with Elimination Chamber. I like that Elimination Chamber has its own PLE. I don't think Elimination Chamber is necessarily gimmicky, because depending on who wins Elimination Chamber, they get to go with the other opponent that the Royal Rumble winner is not going to go against. So at that point, we do have things that are set up outside of a feud already building, but that doesn't mean that it always has to be somebody fresh or somebody that doesn't have a story or a feud going. There could already be an underlying feud, and that person is going to be the Elimination Chamber winner, and you already know who they're going against because they already have some kind of backstory. So for me, I think Elimination Chamber should be staying as its own PLE. You can attach War Games to Survivor Series, to SummerSlam. You can really attach War Games to any pay-per-view. Next up here is by Jeremy Michaels saying, them not building up new stars in the main event scene. This one is a tricky one because there's a lot of main eventers right now that are in their 50s, and I am not here to age shame or anything like that, and I understand that you do want new talent to be a part of the main event, to hold certain titles, and unfortunately right now with the WWE, there's only a handful of people that you can really see that they're building as the next generation of main eventers. I will add Rhea Ripley because she still has a whole career ahead of herself. Braun Breaker is absolutely going to be a multiple world champion. He's going to be main eventing WrestleMania, and you can see that by the way that he's been booked right outside of NXT. There was a moment where like we didn't really know what direction they were going to take Braun Breaker. Even Braun Breaker was like, hey man, what are you gonna do with me? But now it's pretty set in stone that he is meant to be the next Brock Lesnar. This man is also meant to be the next Undertaker. Hopefully we can have like some kind of streak happening here at WrestleMania, or something to hold him as the person that he should be, because it's Braun freaking Breaker. This man has everything. He's funny, he's good with his character, he's great in the ring, he's a damn beast, he's everything you want as a main eventer. And if this is a fumble, listen, I am very nice to Triple H. If we don't get there, if you fumble Braun Breaker, like, it's on site, Triple H, because there's no way that you can even fumble this man at this point. He does everything for you. He's in the ring. I'm sure you're not telling him, hey man, when you're in the ring, make sure you're talking shit to your opponent. This is just who he is. And with proper training, proper guidance, this man is going to be the next face of the company if done right. That being said, Carmelo Hayes. What are we doing with Carmelo Hayes? What are we doing with Julia? What are we doing with Stephanie Vaquer? There's a lot of talent right now that should have been booked a lot better, and we have yet to see it because they are still focusing on the same dudes that were main eventing 10-15 years ago. No disrespect, because you guys still will get a pop out of us. We will still get excited. We're happy that you're holding a title, but WWE is so focused right now on them that unfortunately our future stars are sort of in the back burner. Next one here is by Ope E 3-Way saying the booking of their women's champions, all of them besides Becky, but if it wasn't Becky, the women's IC title would be booked like garbage too. Listen, I cross chat over this because my chat likes to just argue with me all the damn time, and I was complaining about the women's mid-card division because I'm like, they do not care about the women's mid-card division because number one, we barely see them. Number two, you're not really giving them an opportunity to shine. You want them to make a name for themselves. You want them to break that glass ceiling, but you're not really giving them opportunities to, because when you do, you're booking Michin to pin Kiana James within 5 seconds, which yes, W Michin, but you're also not even allowing them to have a proper match. Now, if Kiana James wasn't healthy enough to have a proper match, I take it all back, but if she was okay to be in that ring and you booked a 5-second match with Michin, who could easily be the next United States Women's Champion, the next Intercontinental Champion, you don't give these mid-card titles the proper booking if it's not one of your top stars holding it. The only reason you care about that IC title is because Becky Lynch is holding it. And I hate that shit because you have so many damn talented women on that roster. The one thing that I will never get over is the way that Triple H or whoever was in charge of that booked Zelina Vega as the United States Women's Champion, because you never allow that woman to get on that mic and actually cut a promo, because not only can she riff, she can improv. You can throw anybody at her. Throw somebody with expertise on that mic and Zelina Vega can clap back. And if you don't believe me, go watch her old stuff. Most of the stuff that she has done has been all improv. The reason she got hired to the WWE was because of her mic skills. If you allowed her to talk on the mic, be herself, show you why she is the United States champion, she can easily outperform some of the main roster women on the mic that aren't so good on the mic. And that's no shade to you, but I understand why they didn't allow Zelina Vega to cook, and I will forever be annoying about that. Just do better, man. Like, you have women in that roster who have been scratching and clawing for the past 5 plus 8 years, and they still don't even have that damn opportunity. Next up here is from Larissa saying every ending segment of both main roster shows are always the same. Bad guys beats good guys and then friend comes out to help them. Yeah, we will still get excited, but it does come to a point of like, you're doing the same shit, where at this point, whatever happens, we're expecting somebody to come out. When I stream and I'm watching this main event and I'm just like, all right, who's coming out? Punk's coming out. Like, we can already predict that somebody is going to come out. It's the same shit over and over again. And WWE is very fortunate that there is a lot of casuals that go to their live shows, because if it was the IWC, we would just be like, all right, cool, and like call it a day, because we're just so jaded with this. The next one here is from Live and Riot saying both tag and women's division, they literally have zero ideas for the women's world championship title, and it shows. So I think with the men's tag division, both on SmackDown and Monday Night Raw, I think they're actually putting some thought behind it. I think they do want the tag division to succeed, and you can see that with the ladder match being booked at SummerSlam. The women's tag titles also being booked at SummerSlam. We have segments every single week with the tag team division. When it comes to the women, we do have Charlotte and Alexa, we have the Her Service, but outside of those two, and I apologize if I'm forgetting about anybody else, outside of that, we don't really see anything. We see Michin and BFAB together at some points, but we don't really see any storylines that are brewing. So I think the women's tag division severely needs help, but I think the men's, I think we're on a good trajectory here. Next one here is from 7460 saying the constant urge to let us know it's a MAGA run company. Listen, sometimes businesses make it apparent, sometimes they don't make it apparent. This one doesn't care anymore. This is the same WWE that used to care about Black History Month. This is the same WWE that used to care about LGBTQ, you know? And when you didn't have to care about that anymore, they're not gonna make extra effort to care then. Next up here is from Lyle Gillen saying that they act like they're so much better than everybody else. It's arrogant as fuck when they do have the highest numbers in the industry. That's no shade to anybody else, but if you got the numbers to prove it, I mean, boast it. That's good for your business. That's good for your company. That's good for people who are getting invested within professional wrestling, and they're seeing, wow, there's a lot of damn people that go to these shows and are invested in the weekly product. You could call it arrogance, but at the same time, it's all facts. The next one here is by Goo, and he says the onlines don't matter gimmick the people in the company try to push when they are receiving valid criticism. It's funny to me because we were praising the product, the tone was a lot different. Also, everyone has internet and the ability to voice their opinions. Not everyone can afford an 800+ ticket. Listening to the online fans should be something they are more willing to do, as it leads to most of the fan base being happier. The We Want Cody movement is a perfect example. Unfortunately, when it comes to the IWC, the noise that you hear, especially specifically on Twitter, stays on Twitter. Unfortunately, when it comes to the internet, and Triple H has already said it, this is all internet noise, because when you actually have a show and you hear that audience, it's the opposite. And who are they going to listen to more? The people that are paying to attend their shows to make noise for their shows, or are they going to be paying attention to a bunch of marks on the internet? And I'm not saying that to be a bad thing, but I'm saying that in a business standpoint. Are you going to listen to the people that are constantly complaining on the internet, or are you going to be paying attention to the fans that are right there? I don't agree with that, because honestly, with the ticket prices, I'm surprised more people don't bitch about that. I'm surprised that there's still a lot of people paying those insane ticket prices. If you're not paying for your tickets last minute, which I suggest everybody does, if you want to go to any event, pay for your tickets last minute. The day of, the day before, the week of, you will be paying a lot less money than you would if you paid for tickets in advance. Because why would I give a billion-dollar company rents money? The next one here is by Ayush Durga, saying, I know most people will say bad writing and booking, and that's absolutely fair, but Def Rebel is genuinely the only thing about WWE that absolutely pisses me off every single week. Also, ticket prices are way too high. Yeah, Def Rebel, how dare you guys make us pay thousands of dollars when you have Def Rebel on your damn payroll who delivers mid? Then you expect us to really like pop for our superstars or give a certain reaction when we just hear the most bubblegum infused electronic theme songs that don't even hit, man. They really don't even hit. Again, with the exception of a couple like Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, and a couple of more on that roster, but the disrespect is damn crazy. The next one here is from I Hate Vonnie, saying, more ads before the action than an X videos link. Listen, if you are ever a part of my Twitch streams, or if you see my reactions on Instagram or Twitter, I just look so soulless and like dead inside, because you expect me, a millennial who grew up watching sitcoms, and there was always commercials in the middle of the sitcoms, but it was also a 30-minute show. So it's not like I had to keep that going for 2 or 2.5 hours. You're expecting me to be highly invested in a 2 to 2.5 hour show when you get me excited by a segment or get me excited by a match, and then you have a commercial break, and then coming back out of commercial, or before we even get into commercial, you have like a whole recap of some sort. So we have so much downtime in between the next thing. There are too many damn ads. There was one time where Peacock said that we had an 8-minute ad break, and I was like, 8 fucking minutes? You have multiple billion-dollar deals, Netflix, Saudi, ESPN. You have advertising on the ring, on ladders. You have the little Prime setup, and you still have to give us an 8-minute fucking ad break? The next one here is from Hardy Bajwa, saying, the constant disregard for fans. Oh, we listened to paying audience from the arena, yet ignored when Cross got over, ticket prices, and now ESPN. It might be TKO, but now WWE is a part of it, so that's a good point, because there were We Want Cross chants, and yet we did not get Cross. If you're going to be talking about the paying audience, the fans of Cross were paying money to sell out his merch. So you're not really making sense when you talk about you're going to pay attention to the audience that pays you, because you clearly did not pay attention to the movement that was carrying Cross. Next one here is from Skeleton, saying, I hate how we're slowly seeing a repeat of NXT stars getting called to the main roster just for them to be used in the worst ways possible. Skeleton, I agree, man. It comes to a point where you can't even be excited for the NXT talent, because when they get called up, you don't even know if they're going to be shortly released, because they don't have anything ready or booked for them. If you're going to move somebody up in the main roster, I would assume that you would have plans for them. And if creative doesn't have anything planned for them, then unfortunately they get released. Next up here is by Luna Lilac, and it says, the repetitive interferences, especially with factions, it's boring. Championships should change more often, like with the SmackDown tag titles. The repetitive interferences, I get it. We know exactly who's going to come out, and that's not always a bad thing, but it is kind of like, okay, every single week. The shock value now is if members of that faction or the friends don't actually come out. The second part to this was that championships should change more often. I don't necessarily am eager to have a new champion all the time, mostly because like it just reminds me of like the 24/7 title. If that title is meant to be changed, then so be it. Do I think that Solo Sikoa should have dropped that title to Sami Zayn? Fuck no. In my opinion, it just seemed like Solo found out who he was, and I was excited to keep seeing that because easily he is one of the most entertaining and funniest people on that roster. You can say what you want about Solo, but when he's on your screen, you pay attention because you know he's either going to say something so stupid in a serious way that you can't help but to just love the dude, and I felt like he was really just getting started, and it really sucks that he didn't hold that title for longer. You did mention the SmackDown tag titles. I think that would be funny if like the tag titles were sort of like a hot potato thing, because you do have a lot of teams who are gunning for the titles. So if you always have stipulations for the tag titles, like a ladder match or just like fatal 4 tag match, anything like that, I don't mind if the tag titles are being bounced around. I'm thinking to make it a part 2 because we got an insane amount of responses. So watch out for a part 2, and we will be having the same discussion for AEW. Do not worry. This wasn't like what pisses you off about WWE, but we're gonna leave AEW alone. No, we're gonna talk about AEW as well. Make sure you do go follow me on X because that is where I will be posting it. Drop your thoughts below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.